is Erdenis Hashibi. I'm a junior student at American University in Kosovo. And over here are the members of our group, starting from Rita Mitaj. Next to Rita is Vigan and Nesa, and also my other colleague, Trina Kastrovic. Today, our main topic, our presentation is about doing a business report. And also we are going to talk about, to explain the basics of business report and steps of doing a business report, advantages and disadvantages, the ease of doing business and doing business in 2016 in Kosovo, and the importance of doing business report, which is going to be presented by Anesa. Now, before I go to how to do a business report, firstly I'm going to give a short opening on what is a report, and then I'm going to go back at the main topic. Reports describes, analyze and investigates a situation for a particular audience. Either it is a real situation or a case study. They have a formal structure and common sections. The key to report writing is informing the reader simply and objectively about all the relevant issues. There are three features that together characterize report writing at a very basic level: a predefined structure, independent sections, and reaching unbiased conclusions. Now let's go back to the first slide. What is a business report? Business reports are a type of assignments in which you analyze a situation, either it is a real situation or case study, and apply business theories to produce a range of suggestions for improvement. Business reports are typically assigned to enable you to examine available and potential solutions to a problem, situation, or an issue, to apply business and management theory to a practical situation, to demonstrate your analytical reasoning and evaluation skills in identifying and weighing up possible solutions and outcomes, to reach conclusions about a problem or an issue, to provide recommendations for future action, and to show concise and clear communication skills. Now, before my other colleague continues, at the end you must remember that with business reports, typically there is no single correct answer, but several solutions, each with their own costs and benefits to an organization. It is these costs and benefits which you need to identify and weigh up in your report. Now, my friend Rita will continue to talk about the basics and steps of doing a business report. Rita?
So I'll talk about the basic of business report. So business reports are reports that are prepared by employees or managers in order to provide the investors and creditors with the basic information about the performance and the strategies of doing business report. So management uses a business report to to control the expenditures and to increase the revenues within the firm. Among the most important part of the business reports are financial statements, which includes balance sheet, cash flow, and balance sheet, income statements, and cash flow. So those are used in order to assess the economic growth. Another important part of the business report are business plan and mission statements, which provide direction for the company and benchmarks for the management and employees. Performance assessment and comparison will have financial statements will give the ability to compare the performance and competitors within the previous years. So my friend Tina later on will tell you how it has changed during the years in the case of Kosovo. In order for a business report to be successful, it needs to have in-depth analysis. So it has three steps, such as planning, structuring, and in the end, writing the business report. So before planning the business report, you should ask yourself about some questions, such as what is the purpose of this report? You should give an issue about writing this report in order to have some basic recommendations in the end. Who are the readers of this report? So you should give clear information about the business report. What are the report's main message, and how will the report be structured? How will be the report structure are two ways, direct and indirect. The direct or deductive approach is used nowadays by modern businesses, which represents the decisions and recommendations in the beginning of the report. The other one is the indirect or inductive approach, which presents the discussion before and conclusion in the end. The next step is structuring the outline of the business. Here are some detailed information how the business report should be from the beginning to the end. The first one is covering letter or memorandum, which should state the purpose of the report. The second one is a title page, an executive summary. As I mentioned earlier, it should state the purpose, bullet points, and the conclusion in the end. Table of contents, which gives an orientation about the report. Conclusion, introduction, conclusion, and what is most important is recommendations. So, why do you think? What are recommendations important for us?
To make it more legible.
That could be. Are important because it gives us solution about the issue you are talking about. You are quoting in this report. And in the end, we will include list of references and appendices. What is most important is that findings and discussion are related with recommendation because it tells where did you find those solutions. And the last one is writing. Here I decided to take this picture because it tells from the beginning to the end how the business reports it looks like. So you should bear in mind that this report it should be well structured, grammar checking, and what is mostly important is that remember that business reports in the business report there is no correct or wrong. So there is no single or correct answer because several solutions, each of them have costs and benefits of the organization. Now my friend will continue with advantages and disadvantages of doing business report.
Thank you, Rita. So I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of doing business reports. The doing business methodology offers several advantages. It is transparent, using factual information about what laws and regulations say and allow multiple interaction with local respondents to clarify the questions. Doing business is not a statistical survey, and the text of the relevant laws and regulations are collected and each answer is checked for accuracy. The methodology is inexpensive and easily replicable, so data can be collected in a large sample of economies. The use of standard assumptions, because standard assumptions are used in the data collection, comparison and benchmarks are valid across economies. Investors want to review company business reports. Management teams that provide high quality integrated report that tell a clear story, not only that helps investment professionals, but also enhance their own reputation and capital raising potential. Investors' reports are used most commonly by publicly traded companies to report on performance each quarter so shareholders can evaluate their stock equity and make decisions about their actions. Either they can keep it, trade, sell, or buy stocks. And now I'm going to talk about the disadvantages of doing business reports. First, limitations of business reports. While business reports are incredibly useful for management, they also have their limitations. There is often considerable cost of time and money in preparing reports, which was a potential to limit the business financial and logistic ability to invest in operations or expansions. Some reports are inadequate to get an accurate picture of the entire businesses or of the financial conditions in which they operate. Reports may not be always as comparable as they appear, so sometimes differences in accounting methods can create difficulty for the company. Finally, reports are also limited by the quality of the information that is available and the competence of those preparing them. So it's helpful to keep in mind any potential limitations in collecting the data. Potential to neglect quality information. Financial statements in particular are often limited to those aspects of the business that can be reported, even though the business might enjoy significant assets along more qualitative measures. Such an example would be a business that has hired well-qualified and motivated people will not account for doing so. A financial statement, even though this asset may outweigh the business temporary financial shortcomings. So reports can be biased, expensive and time-consuming, and technical reports are not easily understandable. Now Trina will continue with further information.
So I'm going to talk about the ease of doing business and doing business in Kosovo, the 2016 report from the World Bank. So doing business provides an aggregate ranking on the ease of doing business based on indicators that measure the regulations applying to domestic, small to medium sized businesses through their life cycle. Economies are ranked from 1 to 189 by the ease of doing business ranking. Doing business presents results for two aggregate measures. The first one is the distance to the frontier score, and the second one, the ease of doing business ranking. An economy's distance to the frontier score is indicated on a scale from 0 to 100, 0 being the worst performance and 100 being the frontier. The ease of doing business ranking compares economies with one another. When compared across years, the distance to the frontier score shows how much the regulatory environment for local entrepreneurs in an economy has changed over time. In absolute terms, while the ease of doing business ranking can only show how much the regulatory environment has changed relative to that of in the other economies. The 10 topics that are included in the ranking of doing business 2016 are starting a business, dealing with construction permits, getting electricity, registering property, getting credit, protecting minority investors, paying taxes, trading across borders, enforcing contracts, and resolving insolvency. So what I'm going to talk now are some statistics that I got from Kosovo, and more of this you can find in the World Bank page for the Kosovo Doing Business 2016. So the first one, starting a business. What does it take to start a business in Kosovo, and where does the economy stand today? To start a business in Kosovo, it takes 5 procedures and around 11 days, and it costs 1.1% of income per capita. And globally, Kosovo is ranked as 47 in the ranking of 189 economies in the ease of starting a business. The second one, dealing with construction permits. What does it take to comply with the formalities to build a warehouse in Kosovo? Well, dealing with construction permits requires 15 procedures. It takes 152 days and costs 6.4% of the warehouse value. In this part, Kosovo is ranked 136 out of 189 countries. Getting electricity, what does it take to obtain a new electricity connection in Kosovo? It takes 7 procedures, 46 days, and costs 780.5% of income per capita, and globally Kosovo is ranked 124 out of 189 economies in the ease of getting electricity. Registering property, what does it take to complete a property transfer in Kosovo? It takes 6 procedures, 27 days, and costs 0.3% of the property values, and it's ranked 32 in the ranking of 189 economies. Getting credit, how well do the credit information system in Kosovo facilitate access to credit? The economy has a score of 6 on the depth of credit information index and a score of 8 on the strength of legal rights index. Higher scores mean that there is more credit information and stronger legal rights for lenders and borrowers. Kosovo here stands 28 out of 189 economies. Protecting minority investors. How strong are minority investors' protections against self-dealing in Kosovo? The economy here has a score of 5.8 on the Strength of Minority Investor Protection Index, with a higher score indicating stronger protections. And globally, Kosovo here stands at 55 out of 189 economies. Paying taxes. How much do firms pay in taxes? On average, firms in Kosovo make 32 tax payments a year, spend 155 hours preparing and paying taxes, and pay total taxes amounting to 15.2% of profit. And in here, Kosovo is ranked 67 out of 189 economies. Trading across borders. In here, Kosovo is ranked 71 out of 189 economies in the ease of trading across borders. Enforcing in contracts, how efficient is the process of resolving a commercial dispute through the courts in Kosovo. Contract enforcement takes 330 days and costs 34.4% of the value of the claim. And globally, Kosovo is ranked 48 out of 189 economies. And the final one, resolving insolvency. According to data collected by Doing Business, resolving insolvency takes 2 years on average and costs 15% of the debtor's estate, with the most likely outcome being that the company will be sold a price meal sale. The average recovery rate is 37.7 cents of the dollar, and globally Kosovo here stands at 163 out of 189 economies. Now, Inés, I will continue with the importance of doing business reports.
The private sector provides an estimated 90% of the jobs in developing economies. All people have great opportunities when it comes to government policies that supports a business environment. Here, dealing with firms making investments, creating jobs, and also increasing productivity. When the first report was produced in 2003, there were just a few regular updates indicators for monitoring such macroeconomic issues as business regulation affecting local firms. The importance of doing business reporting economy seeks to measure business regulation for domestic firms through objective lenses. The project looks primarily at the small and medium-sized companies in the largest business city, and by doing this, there will be presented quantitative indicators on the regulation that applies to firms at different stages of their life cycle. The result can be compared with the 184 other economies and over time. Over the years, the choice of indicators for doing business has been guided by a rich pool of data that was collected through the World Bank Enterprise Survey. While talking about the importance of doing business report, we have importance in the business and the policy making. In business, we had seen in tax rates and tax administration, and also in electricity, when it goes through inspiring the design of paying the taxes and getting electricity indicators. And since rules and regulation are under control of policy making, they intended to change the environment and experience or behavior of the businesses by changing the rules that actually may affect them. The main importance is that the Doing Business report is focused in the 10 aspects of business regulation, including first, starting a business, second, getting credits, and third, trading across borders. Since 2003, Doing Business report has brightened an annual spotlight on the regulation. Here we have to do it with the complexity of rules, where such the time and the cost is involved in the starting a firm, and also the strength of a legal institution, how well contracts are enforced. While talking about the importance of a Doing Business report, it ranks countries on these measures and the overall facility of doing business. So this was our presentation. If you have any question or comment or something,
Considering these statistics, which one is the best place in doing business, considering policies and everything? Inge.
Which one is the best? Well, I said that economies are ranked from 0 to 100, and 100 is the frontier and 0 is the worst.
So then you mentioned some places, so which one?
I think Kosovo. It's Last Report. Which country is the best? It's Last
Trading,
Report.
they do mining.
Which country? I don't know. Symptom specification.
These are data solely from Kosovo.
We gathered information only for data of Kosovo, case of Kosovo.
But then you make
The latest report, the one in Denmark. Denmark. Or Hong Kong.
We only searched that Kosovo has ranked from the place of 77 to 65. So now it's a great place. If you compare with other years.
do anyone has another question? Okay, then thank you for your question.
Ciao.